I'm going to focus on President Biden's 100-day pause on deportations or removal. So if you're interested in that topic, watch this video, join this live session. As you're coming on board, give me some likes, some hearts, and then also certainly share this with other people in your feed. We have a whole lot of things to talk about these days regarding immigration, and I'm going to break them down for you in different videos. So I see that people are starting to join. It's nice to have you with me. Let's get into it. Yesterday, January 20th, the Department of Homeland Security acting secretary issued a memo to the Customs and Border Protection senior official, to USCIS acting director, also to ICE acting director. Well, it was the ICE acting director and the senior official at USCIS, directing those individuals or those management people or directors, directing them to stop deportation for the next 100 days. So here's the, let me pull it up for you. This is the announcement from the Department of Homeland Security. The acting secretary directs a review of immigration enforcement practices and policies. And it says that a memo was signed and issued directing those different agencies, okay, to review and reset enforcement policies and set interim policies for civil enforcement while the department develops its final priorities. Okay, so it also says for 100 days, starting January 22nd, DHS will pause removals for certain non-citizens ordered deported to ensure we have a fair and effective immigration enforcement system that's focused on protecting national security, border security, and public safety. Now, I'm going to get into the memo and show you who this applies to and the exceptions, because there are exceptions to this. When you're talking about pausing removal for a period of time, there must be exceptions to this rule, and we're going to get into that in a moment. And so, in just so you understand, under President Biden, the Department of Homeland Security is reprioritizing things, and they're shifting their resources away from heavy enforcement against just about anyone who doesn't have papers in the U.S. They're shifting away from that model that was under Trump to a new model that's focusing their money, their resources, or taxpayer dollars, our dollars, focusing those resources on border security, which they should, public safety, and those issues. Okay, so with that being said, I want to show you the memo, and I'm going to pull it up right here. Okay, give me a second. There it is. Okay, so this is the memo, okay, that was issued on January 20th, 2021 from the acting secretary from the Department of Homeland Security. And it says, I've highlighted some of the more important section. There's a lot to it, but let's just jump to the main things here. It says, due to limited resources, DHS cannot respond to all immigration violations or remove all persons unlawfully in the United States. It's just not practical to do so. DHS's civil immigration enforcement priorities are protecting national security, border security, and public safety. I like that. I like the focus on national security and border security, and there's smart ways of doing that. This is not in the memo. This is just my commentary here. I do believe that we need to strengthen the border and put a lot of protections around all of our borders in the north, in the south, all around. So I like the focus on shifting resources to border security and public safety rather than just trying to go after everyone. That never made any sense. And so then the memo breaks it down. It says, with respect to national security, they're going to focus on individuals who are engaged in terrorism or espionage. In terms of border security, any individuals who were apprehended at the border or ports of entry while attempting to unlawfully enter the United States on or after November 1st, those people will be the focus. They're going after those who they catch who tried to get into the United States just recently. And then thirdly, around public safety, they're focusing on going after people who have a very serious criminal record. Individuals who were in prison, incarcerated under federal, state, or local, in a federal, state, or local prison or jail, and they've been convicted of an aggravated felony, which is a very serious felony type of felony under our immigration laws. And so they're going after those people. They're shifting the focus to those people. Then it also says, and if you guys are enjoying this update, give me some likes, give me some hearts, share this with your feed, even as I'm doing this. I appreciate the support. Thank you guys for doing that. Now, it goes on to say these priorities shall apply only to the decision to issue, serve, file, or cancel a notice to appear, but also to a broad range of other discretionary enforcement decisions, including, guys, listen to this one, including who they're going to stop on the street of New York, right? Or San Francisco or San Diego or wherever people are in Miami. The way they're shifting their resources is going to, it's going to be in such a way that it impacts who they decide to stop on the street, question, and arrest, who they decide to detain, who they decide to release, whether to settle a case, dismiss a case, appeal a case, or join in a motion on a case, and whether to grant deferred action or parole, to humanitarian parole. And so prosecutorial discretion is back. Prosecutorial discretion is back, okay? Meaning that particularly if you're in removal, okay, your lawyer, or us, if we're representing you in removal, we do removals here in New York, in Manhattan, primarily. But if there are good facts in your case, let me jump on the screen to say this to you before going back to the memo. There are good facts in your case, and your lawyer has the ability to present those facts to the ICE attorney, and that ICE attorney can exercise prosecutorial discretion to take things differently, go in a different direction with your case. So under Trump, he removed the discretion that these attorneys in court, the ICE attorneys have. He removed the discretion they have to kind of engage in some sort of negotiation, so to speak, with your lawyer. So that is now back in place. So that's a really good thing, because we need the flexibility to be able to negotiate with the ICE attorneys. Okay, so it says exercise of prosecutorial discretion, that's back. And what the 100-day pause on removal, 100-day pause on removals. It says, I am directing an immediate pause on removals of any non-citizen with a final order of removal for 100 days to go into effect as soon or no later than January 22nd, 2021. So this starts tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. However, there are some exceptions to this. Now, what I'm going to share now in this section are the individuals who they're going to be deported anyway, 100 days or not. If you're slated for deportation next week and you fall into any of these categories, you're going to be deported, okay? And so they maintain that in here to be able to assure us from a public safety standpoint that they're not going to keep dangerous people in the country who should have been removed because the court or the judge ordered them removed. So this is what, these are the individuals who fall into this category. Okay, the pause on removals applies to any non-citizen present in the U.S. when this directive takes effect. And they have a final order of removal, except one who, number one, according to a finding by the ICE director, the individual has been suspected of terrorism or espionage. They're out. Or individuals who were not physically present in the United States before November 1st, 2020. You're out too. Those individuals are out too. They could remove you rather rather quickly in some cases. Number three, the individuals who have voluntarily waived their rights to remain in the United States. If they voluntarily waive those rights and they say, okay, send me back home, they're going to be sent back home during this 100-day period as well. And then finally, this is the catch-all. This is, this is broader here. Number four is anyone whom the acting director of ICE follows in consultation, following consultation with the general counsel, makes an individualized determination that removal is required by law. So this is just the catch-all category that says, listen, if the acting director of ICE or the director of ICE determines that this individual should be removed sooner rather than later for X, Y, and Z reasons, that individual will be removed. So they did put that in there to give themselves some wiggle room there. So in a nutshell, friends, just to hop back on the screen in front of you, in a nutshell, this is, here we go. In a nutshell, this is the 100-day pause on removal that President Biden issued just yesterday. He directed his people to stop removal, and he can do that under his executive authority and power. Okay. And by the way, speaking of executive authority and power, I do want to share with you that all of the executive orders that were signed yesterday are now up on the White House's website, okay, including the immigration executive orders that I mentioned yesterday, the travel bans. Those are up, they're signed, I saw them, they're in effect, okay? So he did in fact sign them yesterday. I saw some questions from people asking, okay, were these signed or not? Yes, it is, they are there. They're on the website, so go check that out. The other thing I want to point out to you guys is that on my Instagram page, on McBean Immigration Law, you want to follow me there. I've been dropping throughout the day yesterday, and same thing today, some breakdowns of the immigration reform proposals. There are a lot. There's a lot of things to cover. So you want to follow me on Instagram. It's just easier for me to drop the information there at McBean Immigration Law. Also, I forgot to mention in my videos yesterday that for those of you who are out there who have an embassy interview coming up very soon, get my new program. It's 9 lessons on how to prepare for your embassy interview, and it focuses on the immigrant visa embassy process and the questions that you're likely or your relative is likely to face. People have already started pre-ordering. Pre-orders started, I want to say, on Monday, and it's available tomorrow, Friday. So I'm going to put the link here so that you guys can go on and get that. It's only $37, and it's an amazing resource. 9 lessons on how you can prepare for that embassy visa interview. Okay? If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notice of my videos each week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.